again, it's Mark here from Green Tree Games. I'm here today to give you an overview of Ninja, Legend of the Scorpion Clan from AEG Games. So we did an unboxing, showed you all the bits, and what we tend to do next is show you how the game plays. So it's just an overview. If the rules aren't precise or anything's a little bit out, I apologise, but it's just to give you a bit of a flavour as to how it all plays. So it's for 2 to 4 players. One side plays guards, guarding a Japanese fortressy temple thing. The other side plays a ninja and a traitor of the guards, trying to infiltrate and do unpleasant things, steal things and whatever. So if there's less than 4 players, if there's 2 players, one person takes on the role of both and whatnot. So to begin with, you have to set the board out and set your guys out. So for the guards, that's a little bit easier because you put the miniatures on the board. If you can see, there's little sentry posts dotted about. Now you get to place 8, I think it is, 8 sentries at these posts. But there's more posts than there are people to begin with, so you've got to be a bit wary, trying to spread your guys out so that you're covering most of the map. Once you've done that, you can then place patrols. You see these little guys, so if you get any guys that are sat together are in a patrol and then move together. So we've got patrols here, you can place 3 to begin with. So that's the map. Then, very important, you have to place more on your hidden map, if you want to zoom in here, if you can see that hopefully. So, quite important, what the guard player has to do is decide the location of the objectives. So in the 2 fortresses here, he has to put a letter for each of the objectives that the ninja and the traitor have to try and find. So he puts those down. You then get to place 2 traps, those T's. So if a ninja searches there, something unpleasant happens, and 2 hidden sentries, which are the H's, there and there. So you write down all of those locations. You then get to have sleeping guards that you write down in the little barrack symbol. So I put little S's there, there's a limited number of those you can place. So that sets up the guard map. Okay, the infiltrator map is a little bit easier. If there were 2 players, you'd each have your own copy of this map, and the ninja would write an N where he was, and the traitor would write a T where he was, but we're just using the one map to show you. Got 2 little X's there as well because he gets to place a secret passage. Now you can place the 2 points pretty much anywhere on the map as long as it's not outside of the map. So it's a bit dangerous, so you want to be quite clever if you can as to where you put those. Okay, so that's that set up. So, first phase of the game. So as you can see, because it's all hidden movement on the map, a lot of the time, hopefully, you won't see the ninja player. It'll all be behind the screen, writing down whereabouts he moves, and the guard has got to try and find him and kill him. If the infiltrators die before their 10th turn, you get to come back again. You get less cards and you're not as good, but you do get to come back and have another turn. If you die after turn 10, then it's game over. And if one person dies, you can still try and complete the objectives, but it's classed as a draw. So there we go. So turn phase. The first phase is the alert phase. So if you look on the map here, you've got all the various levels of alertness. If the ninja does something silly and gets spotted, the alert level goes up as the guards become more and more alert. So the first phase, that nothing's going to happen there because the alert level starts at nothing. And I'll tell you about that later once it goes up. The next phase along is the guards card phase. Now the guards have cards. In a 4-player game, or if there's 2 players playing the guards, you split the deck and you each have your own hand. And whenever you have to draw a card, you've got to decide between you who wants to pull a card. So if you've got to pull 2 cards, you might decide that it's an advantage for just one player to get those 2 cards. And I'll lay these cards down here if you want to have a look. So there's listen cards, search cards. Also, there's 2. I'm just trying to get you one of each if I can. patrol search. There's two kinds of guard. Patrols are two in a group. A patrol makes sense, really, doesn't it? A sentry is a standalone guard. Patrol search, patrol listen. Try and find one of each for you. So the sentry listen and sentry search and patrol listen and patrol search, they're the important. That's the main mechanic of the game. That's how you find the ninja. So if you play a search card, you can choose a zone with a patrol in it. Move at least 2 guards from that patrol, 2 zones in any direction after moving. So basically the search lets you move 2 zones. And along the way, if you come into contact with the intruder, you've found him, you put him on the map. So there's the patrol search. The listen is when the ninja or the traitor moves. The further he moves, the more noise he makes, and the more chance you have of hearing him. So if you do a listen, well, let's run an example. So say this guy here, I wanted to play a central listen on him, and if the ninja had moved, say, well, any one of these zones, if he'd moved to there, I'd be able to hear him. And then, but the ninja doesn't actually say what zone he's in, just that you can hear me. So it's a way of trying to determine where the ninja is. And the same for the patrols have got the same kind of cards where you can move a patrol off. If you want to split a patrol up, you can. If you can move them off in separate directions, and then they become sentries. Awaken. That's you can have people jump up from their beds that you've placed originally. So you can have if you need to get somebody somewhere quickly. For example, if you think the ninja's in this kind of area here, and you've got a sleeping guard here, and the ninja doesn't know that, you can play that card and have a sleeping guard come and rough him up a bit. What other cards do we have? The important cards. Those cards deal wounds. You need to have that card in your hand if you want to deal the intruder a wound. Okay, so you've seen what some of the cards can do. So like I say, in a practical example, the guard can only use 2 cards in a turn. But when you use those 2 cards, you can only activate 1 patrol or a guard once per turn, so you can't just keep laying cards down. So for example, I would say sentry search. This guy can move 2 zones, so maybe I've heard the ninja over in that direction, I can move in 2 there, but I can't listen within this turn because I've already spent a card on him. The cards for the guard player, once you use them, you put them in your discard pile, and then on the next turn you can pick up another 2 cards. So you can go through the cards. It's not a problem. It's not a problem using cards. The traitor and the ninja have cards also that they can use. But once these are used, they're used out of the game. So you've got to be very, very careful as to how you use them. And again, let's put some of these down so you can see. So we've got the traitor can spike drinks and cause guards to become drunk, which is good. Rope for getting over walls. It's quite cool. Card for the use of the secret passage. It was a cat, apparently. So if you are heard or seen or whatever, you can use that to avoid being detected. Ninja's got some that are quite similar. Shadow walk. You can move through a space that contains a sentry. But like I say, once you've used them, so you've got to be very, very careful as to when you use them. You can also use them as a bluff. So say for example, you were moving through a space, and just in your movement you played Shadow Walk, which lets you move through somebody's space. You could play that, and they could assume that you're somewhere with a guard, but you might be somewhere miles away. So there's an element of bluffing to it as well. So that's the guard phase, where you play the cards to move the guards and do some listening. Listening will make more sense once we move the ninja, actually. So the patrol phase. So after you've played the cards, all of the patrols can move 2 spaces along. So they move in the direction pointing and they follow little feet. So you don't want to be a ninja and be on this patrol if at the end of the turn the patrol's going to come along and spot you. So that's something you've also got to be aware of. Then the intruder phase. So this is where it gets a bit cloak and daggerish. So what I would do is on my ninja map here, if you want to zoom in, when I move, nobody else can see, I can move 2 spaces. Actually not at all, I can move up to 3 spaces. But the more I move, the more noise I make. So if I'm there, and if I move 2, well, I'll tell you what, that's boring, that's started the game. Let's say I'm there, I'll draw it my way around. And I move on my, so it's my 3rd turn, and I want to move 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3. My 3rd turn, I write 3 there, so when it's my 3rd turn, and I've run, so I'm going to do 2 lines under this, so I know I've run. What that means is, 3 spaces around, if a guard is in that location and does a listen, he's going to hear me because I've legged it, okay, or there, or there, or there. If I decided I just wanted to go a little bit slower, I'd go there, and put 1 line under, so I know that's how far I've gone. And if any guard does a listen 2 spaces away, he'll hear me. And if I just want to walk, I can go there. And again, if a guard does a listen, but it's got to be next to me, he'll hear me. That's how the mechanic works. That's how the listen mechanic works. So you can leg it if you like, but you're going to be a lot noisier, and they're going to hear you a lot easier. So once you've moved, you can play the cards however you want to play them. If you move, we'll just zoom back onto the map a second. If during your move, you move into a zone with a guy, and you end your move there, you're spotted, and you put yourself on the map. You've got a couple of options there. You can either, well, first of all, the alert level goes to high, as I showed you before, and you've got a couple of options. You can either kill him if you've got the relevant card, one of these cards, try and kill the guard. Or you can, if you've got enough movement, you can carry on going, but you've been spotted, so that's bad. So if you can avoid it, you don't want to just walk into the open and be spotted by the guard. And if you do, you want to try and kill him. So once you've moved, you can attempt to search any spaces that you've moved through. So this is where this map kicks in. So say I've moved, if you want to zoom up to here, so say I've moved, I've done move 3 and I've gone 1, 2, 3 and I'm there. I can search that space and that space, and the guard player has to tell me what objectives or what are in those spaces. If that's my objective, say I search there and it's a B and I have a B, then I'm sure that I've got that objective, and then I need to make my way back out of the fortress to win the game. If it's a T, it's a trap, and the alert level goes at 1. Okay, that doesn't go away. That keeps on happening. So the ninja player wants to write that on his map so he doesn't search again. If it's a H, it's a hidden sentry who pops out and I think can attack immediately if possible. But anyway, again, that's not good. That's not good for the ninja player. Once you do search, it's an idea for the guard to make a little mark to show where the ninja has searched, so you can sort of plot a path as to where he was. A little bit of a hint for you there. And then that's it really. Once you've done the search, that's the end of the ninja phase. So then on the next turn, this makes a little bit more sense. At the start of the turn, this alert level, if the ninja was clumsy and was spotted, and this is quite high, what happens is you get to pull bonus cards. So the guard player can draw 3 cards. So you choose from each, they split between the 2 players if there's 2 players as to who get those cards. And then it goes down 1. Next turn again, you get to draw the cards and it goes down, and until it goes back down to nothing. The guards just get bored and go off and decide it was something else and not actually a ninja after all. And again, you know, that can fluctuate, that can go up and down. And then when you do get the cards based on that, you can use those cards straight away, and then you still get the 2 cards, that you get on your turn as well. So it really is a good idea not to get that too high for the ninja. And I think that about covers the game. Those are the basic rules. It can be quite hard to describe because it's a bit abstract. Because it's a hidden movement game, it's difficult to show you how that would hang together. But I mean, you know, that's a theory of the game. Get in and get out. Try and be very, very sneaky. Bluff the opponent so they can go off chasing shadows. If they think that you're the other side of the map, they're going to try and move the guards over in that direction. And because you can only play a card on one guard at a time, it can, you know, it could be slow to get those guards over there. So bluffing is good. Yeah, and all in all, it's a good game. So again, if there's anything that's a little bit off there or I've missed anything, apologies. It's just an overview, so you can get a bit of a flavour of it. If you've got any questions, you can ask the comments in the comments section. I'll help if I can. So we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. The website is www.grintreegames.com. So come and have a look. And thanks for watching. Bye bye.